Este programa é um oferecimento Adega Online, o marketplace oficial da revista Adega.
Thank you very much for accepting, telling us a little bit more about your beautiful project. For the people that don't know Château Marjosse yet, I would like you to explain a little bit about this.
Yes.
And then we go to the relationship in your career and this and that. Or if you want to do it in the other way, start telling what you did. Everybody knows. Start telling what you did and then bring it to the Château Marjosse.
Okay.
And
Well,
we
I started just my parcours in Bordeaux.
Yes.
And after I give some word about my secret garden, because
Yes.
I love this place.
Yeah, you call it a secret garden.
It's
I have seen it
now
in many...
it's not my secret garden, but it's difficult to mix my first job, Ikem and Cheval Blanc, with Marjosse.
Yes.
Donc, now I am very close to the retreat.
No, you're chairman of the board.
I am the chairman of the board.
So
I am the chairman of the board. I have the president of the board in Château d'Yquem and Cheval Blanc. Château d'Yquem, I have a president, directeur général.
great.
I have the yes.
So you never left. So
I don't know.
It's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
doing both of things
Yes,
nowadays, isn't it?
But I start with my family, because a lot of the family is very important in Bordeaux. You have many chateaux. Donc I have the wine education with my family. I suppose to make the wine, this is my blood. And I start by medicine. And yes, is a good choice. And I stop the medicine, have a very big opportunity to arrive in Clos Forté. Clos Forté is the first group just in front of the church of Saint-Emilion.
It's beautiful.
I stay 10 years in Clos Forté. I stay is a very nice position for me because I have my father, my two uncles. I learn a lot. And at this moment, when I start in 1981, have a fantastic mentor like Professor Penot.
Yeah,
The Professor Penot is the Pope of the enology.
Yeah.
And the Professor Ribeiro-Gaillon also is another man, fantastic man. But have a fantastic teacher around me. I stay 10 years in Château Clos Forté. And after 10 years in Clos Forté, I have a little information and about Cheval Blanc. And I take an appointment with the three charmant ladies and shareholders of Cheval Blanc.
Okay.
And I say, the lady said, yeah, you came for the cup of tea. I don't come for the cup of tea. I came because I'm dressed by the job of manager. You have the big problem with the family. I have not a problem with my family, but Cheval Blanc is a top chateau in the right bank. But Pierre, the first problem is your age. You are so very young. You have only 32 years. She said, yes, but I have 10 years in the first grow with Clos Forté. I have a little experience. And the second lady said, Pierre, the big problem is your name. Because your family have plenty of chateaux, I think it's dangerous to associate the reputation of your family with Cheval Blanc. And she said, oh, bon, mince, no, merde. And and the third lady said, Pierre, is possible you take your mother's name? J'ai dit, yes, but it's not easy for you. Why? Because my mother's name is Lafitte. He say, what? Lafitte?
No,
yes.
You can keep Lurton.
I prefer Lurton. I arrived in Cheval Blanc in 91, have a terrible vintage because I don't produce wine. It's a very big frost. I don't produce Cheval Blanc. I produce only Petit Cheval. I stay 7 years with...
It was a very courageous decision that you have at that time, because in the first vintage in the chateau, you decide not to make it. So
I think it's a difficult decision, but all the shareholders, there are 45 shareholders, they have a new manager. It's a decision of the new manager.
Great.
So for me, it's nice. And I stay 7 years with this family, fondatrice for Colossac. He started in 1832. It's a big family. And in 1998, and Albert Frère, the Belgian man, and Bernard Arnault, arrive in Cheval Blanc. It's my new adoption family. And I stay with my new team. And I think it's a dream because I arrive with the LVMH group at this moment. I have the great people. Just my board meeting is only Mr. Arnaud and Mr. Frère, and the right arm and me just in front. When I start my board meeting in Paris, 22 Avenue Montaigne, I think it's incredible. I have the direct contact with these very famous people, and I have a new position of president, of gérant of the society.
Okay.
I am in charge of the board meeting. I am in charge of everything. After the few years with Albert Frère and Bernard Arnault, in 2004, Bernard Arnault said, Mr. Lurton, you follow me in my office? Yes, I follow you, Mr. Arnault, in your office. Mr. Lurton, have you the time to run Château d'Yquem?
Yes, definitely.
J'ai dit, Mr. Arnault, you have always the time to run Château d'Yquem. I think it's a new position for me. At this moment, I have the double president of Two First Grow in Bordeaux.
Yeah, great.
But two presidents. At this moment, I think it's fantastic because a lot of journalists, Pierre, you have the double president of the First Grow. Okay. But I spend a lot of energy. It's normal for the communication, for the winemaking, for everything. At this moment, I take the decision to have the quality. I have the quality people, but I have the future right arm for me for the decision in Cheval Blanc and Château d'Yquem.
Okay.
Actually, I have a CEO of Cheval Blanc, is Pierre-Olivier Clouet. He's a fantastic man. I love to work with this guy. You have a lot of responsibility actually for the big decision. You have the Cheval Blanc is a fantastic chateau because I think you have the new cellar of Christian de Porzampar. It's amazing terroir because the Cheval Blanc is close to Pomerol. You have the fantastic neighbor Petrus, La Conseillante, and Figeac, La Dominique, and Vieux Château Certain. I have not a dramatic situation here. And I share with this great neighbor the great terroir of Vallée de Lise. Is a terroir of the Quaternary age. When I work in Clofortet, is a terroir of the Tertiary age. Is a limestone soil. Is a shell sedimentation. Is a different terroir. Terroir of Cheval Blanc, you have a diagonal of clay between Petrus and l'Évangile and Cheval Blanc. I share the hills of gravel with Figeac. I share just a little part of sand with La Dominique. Donc Cheval Blanc is a mosaic of the different.
You can choose whatever you want.
Yes, it's a mosaic. It's a word of the complexity. And also the uniqueness of the chateau is the grape varieties. Because in general, in Saint-Émilion-Pomerol, the predominant grape variety is Merlot. Cheval Blanc have 60% of Cabernet Franc, 55% Cabernet Franc, 5% Cabernet Sauvignon, like a pepper in a sauce, and 40% Merlot. And this large proportion of Cabernet Franc give to the wine a very distinctive style.
Yes, I think that it is the soul of Cheval Blanc.
Exactement.
Okay.
Is a uniqueness of the chateau. And but Cheval Blanc is amazing wine, is a silky wine, for me Cheval Blanc is a cashmere touch.
Yes.
The cashmere touch of the tannin. But I love the cashmere because the cashmere is elegance in a time. I think it's a real definition for the great wine. I explained to Château d'Yquem, it's so elegant to travel in a time with Château d'Yquem, but it's the same with Cheval Blanc. Donc Cheval Blanc is very, comment dire, avant-gardiste, comme on dit in French. It's very avant-gardiste. And also you have the fantastic cellar of Christian de Porzampar. It's a very sensual design with very well integration. It's beautiful. And Cheval Blanc now started since 4 years by agroecology, agroforestry, etc. I think you have a lot of emulation in Cheval Blanc, but the style of the wine, I don't change the sign of the wine. But you have the evolution is this chateau is the evolution of agriculture, because to make the wine is agriculture.
Yes,
You
that's
don't
true.
make the wine in the cellar. The raw material is very important. But have the fantastic life, because, and I have also Chateau d'Yquem is not the same, is the same objective of excellence, of quality,
Yeah.
but it's not the same wine. But Chateau d'Yquem, I think, is amazing chateau. Is a long story of the Lursalus family for 400 years. And I have behind me in my office, I have a letter. It's Monsieur le Comte. I pass a great moment in your house. Your chateau is beautiful. Your wine is wonderful. Monsieur le Comte, it's possible to bought a few bottles of wine, because I am very exciting to exchange this bottle with my good friend George Washington. I think it's the letters of Thomas Jefferson.
Jefferson,
Arrive in Bordeaux. He stay a few times in Chateau d'Yquem, and he's interested to share a few bottles with George Washington. I think it's an amazing story. Chateau d'Yquem is a word. And also, for me, I speak about the terroir for Cheval Blanc.
Okay.
And Chateau d'Yquem, the situation is close to the river Garonne. You are on the top of the hill. Just in front, in north, you have the large valley. In south, you have the large forest of the land forest. You have just in the middle. In west, you have the little river Ciron across the river Garonne. When you come in the morning, in September, you have the foggy situation with a lot of mist, a lot of humidity. And in afternoon, the east wind drives the grapes. And the alternance between the humidity and dryness are very interesting for the development of the mushroom, of the fungus, and botrytis have a contamination of the skin. I think Cheval Blanc is a word of the complexity, and Yquem is also the word of the complexity. You play the complexity to make the synergy. But the picking is amazing picking, yes, because you pick only the grape with a good concentration. When you start the picking, and it's possible to start a first day of September, or 15 days of September. You picked for 1 day, you have 160 pickers at the different position, because Cheval Blanc is 40 hectares and Yquem is 100 hectares. It's very big. And the people, for the first day, he picked only the good grape with a good concentration. But in the morning, when the grapes arrive in a cellar, and the cellar master have just a little analysis, he say, I'm not a good concentration. And order arrive in the middle of the vineyard to concentrate the picking. In the afternoon, he test, you have a lot of concentration. Another order arrive in the middle of the vineyard, you open the picking. Donc you have like a pulsation of picking.
Wow.
But the first question, why Yquem is Yquem? Because Yquem have a fantastic neighbor just around, Rieux-Sec, Sudiron, Guiraud, etc., etc. But Yquem, for me, is unique. Why Yquem is unique? I try to understand why Yquem is unique, because Yquem is a situation on the top of the hill. It's very early terroir, because you have a part of quaternary age, a big part, but you have a little part of the tertiary age. You have just a little shell and a little chalk in Chateau d'Yquem, like in Barsac, because Barsac is only the chalk, and Sauternes is only the gravel, sand, and clay. It's a different terroir, like Pomerol and like Saint-Emilion, just around the village. Donc you have the different quality of wine. But for me, the secret of Yquem is the people who work in Chateau d'Yquem, because you have a people have a long experience. He live here, just around, you have the village around Yquem, the people live here. And the people have a great experience, savoir-faire, elegance du geste. He knows the job. And he has a fantastic symbiose with the botrytis, and because botrytis is very complex. And the people take a lot of risk. When you pass the mirror of the risk, you sublime the raw material. But the risk, comme on dit en français, ça passe ou ça craque. It's possible to have a vintage, it's not possible to have a vintage. But I think it's a big difference. To make ICAM, it's very important to play with the risk. You sublime the raw material. I think for me, in my life, is fantastic because I arrive in ICAM because I know the quality terroir, I know the quality red wine, but I arrive with another
But you
story.
know that the odds are in your favor, based on the historic, vintage that you had, and the great wines in Chateau d'Yquem that came from forever. So you know that you are taking risks, but you know that most of the time you're gonna.
Je pense, I think you have the different life in ICAM, the different moment, but the botrytis arrive late, but he start with to run the botrytis at the end of the 17th centuries. At the end at the end of the 18th centuries.
Okay.
Because with a very nice woman is Françoise Joséphine Sauvage d'Yquem. He start the winemaking in 1780. Is a just marriage with the Lausalus family.
Okay.
Is a appointment between the Lausalus family and Sauvage d'Yquem, and in 1818, at this moment, he start to understand the mechanism of the botrytis. But I suppose before, the wine is a sauterne with less sugar.
Okay.
And at this moment, you have the good technique for the botrytis, a good technique for the picking, because I think the most important thing is to pick only the good grape with the good botrytis. It's possible to have other noble, it's not a noble rot, like pourriture grise, etc. Donc, the most important thing for the sauterne is the quality of the picking, the precision, because it's very important to have the very clean, very pure, very fresh raw material to make the good balance sauterne.
Everybody is thinking on how to manage climate change. Does climate change present any risk for the botrytis development?
No, because I think the weather change, yes. The big problem when the weather change is not the sun, is not the dry situation, is not the hot situation. I think the big problem is you have the big storm, you have health, la grêle.
Yes.
It's possible to have the big storm, health, and it's possible to have also the frost in spring. That is the big problem. But after is a race of the concentration. The decision of the picking when you have the good concentration. But effectivement, since 5, 6, 10 years, you pick more early.
Okay.
You picked in general.
This is not bad.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad. But the great vintage of ICAM is a vintage when you start early and you finish late, because you kiss all the complexity of ecosystem. But you have the great vintage late picking, like 67, 37, is because you picked at the end of, in the middle of November.
All right.
But it's a fantastic moment because it's the Indian summer in Bordeaux. You have the time, is the short loose and the cool night to maintain the freshness of the fruit. But just a middle of my dream, like Cheval Blanc and Château d'Yquem. And I start my own experience is my secret garden in 98. In 1991.
Oh, nice.
Just when, you remember the story, when I passed the Clos Forte to Cheval Blanc.
This is the moment.
At this moment, I buy Château Marjosse. And before I live in Château Clos Forte, and at this moment, I live in Marjosse. And Marjosse is nice because it's the right position between Yquem and Cheval Blanc. It's just in the middle.
But your family having so many vineyards over there, and you decide to have your own. What did you see in Château Marjosse that you said, that I want this place?
I think because me, I'm very, comment dire, orgueilleux, un petit peu, because I'm very exciting to have my own chateau.
Okay.
So at first, I know this place because this place of Marjosse is very close to the place where I was born, in Chateau Régnier, and Chateau Bonnet is a family chateau, is a art of Lurtonland.
Okay.
The art of Lurtonland is
Nice.
here. Is a Gréziac, is a very nice village. You have my father, my uncle, my cousin. But Château Marjosse is close to here, just 2 kilometers.
Okay.
I know the family because he's a very good friend of my family. And when I'm very young, with horse, I arrive in Marjosse, and you have the very old man, is an old general. He say, Pierre, you have not the right position.
Nice.
I remember. And I spend a lot of time here. And my father also spent a lot of time here because he is a very good friend of the daughter of the general. Donc I suppose my father have a lot of exchange with the daughter. I don't know. They have a lot of story around Marjosse. But me, I love this place because you see, it's a chateau of the 18th centuries. Very old chateau, 1788. And the first man in Marjosse, I think is crazy, the name is Pierre, like me, and Pierre Chicot. The family is very rich at the moment, have a lot of métairie.
Okay.
You have a little heritage of this métairie. This guy worked in Bordeaux in the Place de la Bourse. He have the president of Place de la Bourse. He have a money. He have a great architect at this moment. He's the architect of the Opera of the Bordeaux. I know the name, but I'm very
Victor Louis.
Voilà. And Louis Victor makes this chateau. And the Pierre Chicot stay, I don't remember, 50 years here. I have a little family just in the middle. At the end of the 19th century, the Deleuze family arrived. He's a good friend of my family. Me, when I'm very young, I pass a great moment here. And I am in love with this place because this place is have the very old vineyard just around. You have the wood just around. I think it's very quiet Marjosse, and a lot of people, Brazilian people, because the Brazilian people love Marjosse because when he came here, he say, "Oh, Marjosse is a top life." I think it's not complicated. It's very elegant. Comment on dit en français? Chic, sobre. And me, I stay between 91 and 2010. Because me have first marriage with the German ladies, Carol. Carol make with me 6 children. I have 4 girls and 2 boys. I have a little divorce, but I continue to have a great relation with Carol. I have a little divorce. You know all my story. And I spend a lot of time in Argentina because you have Cheval des Andes. I started Cheval des Andes in 98. And after I go to the Brazil because the Brazil have the very rich people for Cheval Blanc, Chateau d'Yquem. I organize a big testing in Copacabana, in Fasano, at the different place. Nice. And I remember, and Moet and C organized a testing in Fasano for Cheval des Andes. And you have 3 journalists. You have George Lucky, you have and Alexandra, and me. I start to speak with Alexandra. I say, because as a gentleman, I say, Alexandra, if you have the few time, you come in Europe because you know the great restaurant in Spain at the different places, etc. I think it's possible to spend 3 days with me to introduce everything in Bordeaux. I am very happy. Alex came, and I have, comment on dit, le coup de foudre. The coup de foudre, and Alex arrived in this chateau because I don't live in this chateau with my family. I live in a very nice cemetery close to Marjosse. And I brought this place because it's a long story. Hein? I start with a little fermage, and after I brought a different moment, and I arrived in 2014, and I bought the chateau. Donc, I invite Alexandra to see the chateau. I am just in the middle of the restoration. Alexandra, I remember the very funny story. Alexandra said, oh, it's a nice place. Je dis, yes, it's a very nice place. I think it's very old. Je dis, yes, it's very old. And Alex said, I love all is old. Je dis, I am very lucky, me. Je dis, I am very opportunist.
Yeah.
Je suis très opportuniste. And I say, I start to live with Alex in Brazil, first time. I've married, I have only 4 years during the pandemic, 3-4 years. And Alex now shares the time between Brazil and Marjosse.
And Marjosse.
Because I have actually a lot of activity in Brazil.
She told me that.
You think about this. But when I start Marjosse in 91, I start with very old vineyard.
Okay.
My father said, Pierre, it's a very old vine. You put a new vines with a machine, etc. No, I said, Papa, I think it's very old vines because and the Cabernet Franc, the pure Cabernet Franc, the vines have 70 years, and the pure Malbec, like Grosbec here, the vines have 75 years. I think Muscadel, have a pure Muscadel Hirondelle, the vines have 59 years. I think it's very old vines, but it's a high density. You see, you have the high density, old vines. I think it's easy to make the great wine. And I start Marjosse here. You have the big cellar.
Okay.
And I start to work here the first time. I remember I work in Cheval Blanc during the day, and I work in Marjosse during the night.
Incredible.
And I create the classic Marjosse.
Oui.
And I create the white and red. The white is Sémillon and Sauvignon. You have à peu près
a classic
Sémillon, Sauvignon, and touch of Muscadel. And the red one is 75% of Merlot. And the soul, you mix Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, and just Malbec.
Okay.
During, I remember, 6 or 7 years, I work in this cellar.
Okay.
But my father, he lived after the wood.
Okay.
I have a little heritage of 30 hectares. Donc, Château Marjosse is a combination of 10 hectares of the vineyard here and 30 hectares close to here. It's the same terroir, it's very close. Donc, Château Marjosse is 45 hectares.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And when Alex arrived, after me, is Marjosse. A lot of people know Marjosse around the world because it's a very nice brand. But when Alex arrived in my life, Alex said, you have a very old vineyard with only the old Cabernet Franc. I think, why you don't make a cuvée of pure Cabernet Franc, a pure Merlot?
It's an incredible idea,
Donc,
isn't it?
Pure Merlot, the 3 different terroirs. Is this a cuvée, cuvée ortolan, because Alex has a good idea to put a name of bird. Ortolan is a forbidden bird, you know, ortolan, you put, yes. And ortolan Cabernet Franc. Donc, I don't produce many bottles of this wine, I produce 3,000 bottles. Alex said, Pierre, you have the king of the Malbec in Argentina with El Caballo de los Andes. Why you don't make a pure Malbec in your home? Donc, and the choice of the label is very original.
No, it's
Alex. This design is a design of the very good friend, aquarellist, etc. Like Saint Paul, you see, Pierre Lurton, number of bouteilles, the vintage.
260 bottles?
Yes. But me, I'm replanting a part of my old Malbec with a selection of this old Malbec. I'm replanting just 1 hectare. Donc now I suppose I have more bottles. Muscadel is very old Muscadel. You see, the very old Muscadel is just for this vintage 1,500. I think it's the name of my technical manager, Jean-Marc. I share the responsibility with Jean-Marc.
Good.
And yes, it's 100% of muscadel. It's very rare because normally the muscadel is very delicate grape varieties.
Yes.
But I don't use wood, no wood for the muscadel. It's
Good.
a traditional vinification in vats. For the Malbec, it's a vinification integral in a big cask. Is a very interesting vinification, and the vinification in the barrels for the Cabernet Franc, very delicate vinification to have the very fresh and elegant Cabernet Franc. And the story of this white, if you compare with this, I think is a selection of very old vine and the fermenting in the barrels.
All right.
Donc it's more complex. It's a typical entre deux mers. This one is more comparable with Grave, etc.
Okay.
And after the idea of my technical manager, Jean-Marc, he said, I think it's very interesting idea. Why you have the pure Merlot in Marjosse? Why you make the pure Merlot of the different terroirs?
Good.
Here is a sanglier, because I'm planting 1 hectare, no, half hectares of truffle trees. Close to this PS.
Hey, great.
It's very nice. And this wine is a bees because you have bees as this part. And the name is Charmy because I have the big way pass with the charm. It's very elegant. The charm is here. And the piece of the Charmy is this piece. Donc, the piece of the Charmy is here. The piece of Sanglier is here, is close to the truffle trees. And this one is another terroir, just on the red clay. Very interesting. I think the objective is for the people to have 3 bottles of Merlot, like a tree climate like in Burgundy, to compare the different Merlot. It's very interesting.
So this is clay?
Clay, is this one is chalk, and clay and chalk.
Okay.
Because Marjosse, you have 10 hectares around the chateau vineyard, and you have on to 30 hectares because you have a field and wood. I love the place because it's an amazing place. And you are alone in the middle of the nature, and the very elegant design of the chateau, all is very elegant. Chic, sobre. Voilà.
Very nice.
Donc, it's my secret garden. And Alex in my life, Pierre, I think for me, is the future of Bordeaux.
Nice.
Because Bordeaux actually is not easy. You know, is not easy because they have the big concurrence. You make the good wine in Bordeaux, but you have, comment dire, production.
Yes.
Surproduction of Bordeaux.
Overproduction.
Yeah. And actually, Arraché, what is Arrache vineyard?
To
10% of the vineyard.
Take it out.
Take out the vineyard, 10% of Bordeaux. Is a difficult moment, but to make, I think, a pure Merlot, pure Cabernet, is more easy to understand for the people. And the pure Malbec, and also the bottle is not the bottle of Bordeaux, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And the name under is not Bordeaux, is Vin de France. And the sommelier are more exciting to explain this wine. Is more easy for the people, the new consumer.
It's very terroir driven, isn't
Exactement.
it? Okay.
Exactement. I think for me is perhaps a solution for Bordeaux. Is a part of the solution of Bordeaux.
Okay.
Donc, I start in 2018, the first vintage, and l'Anthologie de Marjosse have a big success. I don't produce many bottles of wine. And Mistral have an exclusivity of the distribution of this bird.
Okay.
And you have also the exclusivity of distribution of red and white wine of Château Marjosse in Brazil.
Okay.
Me, I am very excited to develop the market in Brazil because Brazil Brazil is Alexandra.
Yeah,
I
you
think
have a-
Brazil, I have my family here. And also you have the new generation of consumer in Brazil, interested by this experience. And Ciro Lila, I know Ciro since a long time. Is a great ambassador, and Octavio also is a great
Yes,
ambassador. He loves Marjosse, he loves the life, my life, because, and I across Ciro, I across Octavio in Bordeaux, the
Yeah.
different, je dirais, exhibition.
Yes.
Because me, I'm not very young actually, because I have 40 years in the first grow in Bordeaux, 40 years. And I have only 23, and now I have more. But I have a dream, me. The dream, when I explain, I have in the middle of the sky with a great chateau, like Ikem and Cheval Blanc. I spend a lot of energy for the reputation of the chateau with my team.
Yes.
But also, I simplify my life with the reality of my life in my own chateau in Marjosse. I think it's very interesting view of Bordeaux.
Okay.
Very, comme on dit, c'est un grand écart.
Yeah, but both of them are very quality driven. So this is something, and each one of your projects carries its own message. It's
Exactement.
completely different message.
Exactement.
And one of the questions that I was ready to ask is, what is the difference between working with Iken and Cheval Blanc and your project? And it's already explained, but it's not a matter of difference, but it complements the story.
Exactly.
In my
For me
opinion.
and for my team, and I have not a normal president, because me, but I know the wine, and I work with my engine,
Okay,
and I prune. I know the job.
good.
And when I arrive in Château d'Yquem or in Cheval Blanc, I spend a lot of time with the vigneron in the middle of the vigneron.
Good.
And the vigneron, for him, when you have the president on the office, on the chair, for the vigneron,
in the air conditioning.
yeah, the air conditioning, it don't work. It don't work. And for the vigneron, he show the job, and I share the technique. I think for me, it's very important to have Marjosse in my life. Because if you have a lone president of two third row in Bordeaux, I suppose the life is beautiful, is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think is a dream. This wine is a great wine because I love it, because my first objective is to make the great wine because I have my reputation. And it's the same approach of viticulture,
Okay.
of quality viticulture. It's difficult to spend the same money like Ikem and Cheval Blanc.
Yeah.
But for my manager, like Mr. Arnaud and Mr. Frère, to have a manager, you have a direct contact with the reality of the job is also very important.
It's good.
Je pense que c'est bon. You have the big complementarity between my life in the first grow and my life in my own chateau. You have the big complementarity.
That's beautiful, and everything makes sense. Thinking a little bit about the wine, so we can move into this direction. For me, it's very unique the concept of having varietals, okay, in Bordeaux. And what amazed me is that this same terroir is able to make good Merlot, good Malbec, good Cabernet Franc, good Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yes, I think the terroir is very important
Yes.
for me because I remember with a very funny story when I arrived for the first time in Cheval Blanc. My uncle André Lurton is the godfather of the family. He said, Pierre, you arrive in Cheval Blanc, you have the amazing terroir. Pierre, if you make a lot of mistakes, you continue to make the great wine.
Good to know. Thank you.
Thank you
for the confidence.
Thank you for the confidence. The terroir, I think, is very important.
Yeah.
And the viticulture is very important. But the terroir is unique. Cheval Blanc is unique terroir.
Yeah.
Château d'Yquem is unique terroir, is a unique ecosystem. I think also it's very important. The cooking of the wine is very important.
Yeah.
But if you have the great terroir, you have the gentle cooking. I think the great terroir for me is a terroir where you have the good regulation of the water in soil.
Okay.
For the clay feed the water to the root. For the chalk, you have the capillarity with the roots. You have the water control. The great terroir also when you have like in Bordeaux in September, a freshness, like in Burgundy, a cool maturity, a slow maturity. The cool maturity gives a very subtle and so very elegant tannin. It's like a lobsters. We have the lobsters in a cool water. I think you have the slow development of the lobsters, and the meat is very
Yes.
interesting. When you have the big lobster in a hot water in Cuba, I don't know where, etc., I think the meat is less interesting.
Yes.
And the tannin is the same. For me, it's a metaphor with lobster. Sorry, because I am in early days, so I take a lot of risk. But I think it's the same, the slow maturity. Marjosse, I test Marjosse. The white and the red before. You have a man, a very old man, very serious, because he conserves the quality of the terroir, he conserves the quality of the old vines. I think is a real ecosystem to make a good wine.
Okay.
Because you have the same condition of the cru classé. It's not the same position because it's only in Bordeaux.
Okay.
But when you are here, you see Saint-Emilion. And I know the terroir of Saint-Emilion. I have the manager of the technical manager of all the appellation. I know the terroir. You have the great terroir on the limestone soil on the top. You have the very nice terroir on the clay, but you have the terroir more difficult close to the river. I think here you have the terroir of chalk. In a quaternary age, you imagine as this place, you have a big sea and a shell sedimentation in Marjosse, in shell sedimentation in Saint-Emilion.
Okay.
And in quaternary age, you have the glaciation and the big river arrive, the big valley arrive. You have the terroir of clay and etc. and gravel and sand. And you have the salt of the sediment of chalk in Saint-Emilion and a part in Entre-deux-Mers. And in Entre-deux-Mers, you have the amazing terroir. If the people makes a high level of agriculture with a good density, a normal yield, it's possible to make the fantastic wine. If you test this pure Merlot on clay and pure Merlot on chalk, on the blind tasting, you see, wow, what is this? Is a wine you have a very fresh, very deep, and you have like a sphere when you taste this wine. It's not a fantastic aging wine like Cheval Blanc, but it's possible to stay 15 years is not a problem. I think for me, Château Marjosse is a nice place with a chateau, with a situation in the middle of the wood, is agroecology, agroforestry, and also is amazing terroir.
This comparison with the soil in Saint-Emilion, I never had this, so thank you very much.
I think it's interesting. Huh?
Yes. I love Saint-Emilion. It's my preferred place when I go to Bordeaux. So
you love Saint-Emilion because the chalk. I think the origin of the stone in Pomerol is a Massif Central. The origin is a stone in Sauternes, is Pyrenees.
All right.
It's not the same river. It's not the same stone.
Yes.
But here, it's difficult to make the swimming pool.
Okay.
You understand? You have the chalk.
It's very
You have the big quarries.
And then you decide to do something that was never done in there, which is...
Yes, because you see here is a chalk. Chalk.
Okay.
Here is a chalk also. And here, the wood is a little trees because it's a chalk.
Okay.
It's always a chalk. It's difficult because I put the swimming pool here. I think it's difficult because it's a chalk. But it's amazing terroir. It's amazing terroir. I think it's a unique terroir, and I'm very lucky because the position of this chateau is a fantastic position.
And how did you decide to bring Chardonnay and start your
you know the story, and because after the trip in Burgundy trip, because I have a lot of good friends in trip, I know the lot of people around the world in France, at the different places around the world, because after 40 years,
you have
it's a little world. And Alex and me have a very nice invitation for the music and wine in Burgundy. And in general, the Burgundy people are very excited because I put Chateau d'Yquem. But it's not possible to put a red Bordeaux wine because it's a big concurrence. But Sauterne, it's not difficult to put a Sauterne. Donc I put Yquem, and Alex is fantastic because Alex say, oh, I have the carton of my name close to Aubert de Vilaine. I think Aubert de Vilaine is the vigneron of my life. Je dis, je pensais que c'était moi. Je pensais que c'était moi. Oh, it's a terrible concurrence, Mr. Aubert de Vilaine. And Aubert de Vilaine is a very delicate man.
Yeah, I know him.
I love this guy. He's a fantastic guy. He say, délicieuse Madame Lurton. You make the Sémillon Sauvignon in Entre-deux-Mers, okay. You have not the passion of Sauvignon. Yeah, like me. Me, I love the Sauvignon when the Sauvignon don't smell the Sauvignon. That is very important. And also, he said, why you don't try Chardonnay in Bordeaux? Donc, comme on dit en français, ce que femme veut, Dieu le veut. I think I put a sugarcane of Chardonnay on the Sémillon, the vine of 20 years. And I have the first vintage with this wine, Chardonnay. No, 20. First vintage is 18.
Okay,
The
this
experience
is 21.
start in 18, and it's very interesting Chardonnay because it's still very fresh. Because it's not easy to make the Chardonnay in Bordeaux because the climate is different if you compare with Burgundy, but it's interesting Chardonnay. And me and Jean-Marc, I say, but what? You have the fashion of the sparkling wine. Why you don't make the sparkling wine? And I vinifiate in barrels, and I put in a very old cellar cave of Saint-Emilion avec méthode champenoise. But Alex, you know Alex say it's very important to have a fantastic label. The label, the design of the label is an artist in rosewood.
Okay.
Donc, in Mataroso, is Valmore. Is the name of the artist is here, is Valmore. He's a very nice guy. He designed a bird, because the collection of anthology is a bird, with a little tire-bouchon here. And Alex, is a provocation of Alex. You know, Bansky, street art, man, a lot of people know Bansky. He say, why is not Blansky? Donc, the name is Blansky. The artist is artist of the rosewood. Brut Nature by Pierre Lurton. He produced 9,000 bottles of this wine. And Valmore is the artist. And Siro have exclusivity of this because he distribute my wine. But I am very excited to organize opening in Rosewood in São Paulo.
Yes.
With a very nice journalist to introduce this wine, because this wine is very new. But I start the marketing of this wine. I start to put in the market, but it's very new. It's virgin.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to taste it.
And you taste this wine. I think because
no,
I speak.
I didn't. I just opened.
Ah, you just opened.
Yeah, it's. I lost a lot of this due to the explosion. Yeah.
Ah, yes, the movie. Ah, yes, I remember.
Yeah.
What is the explosion because it's across the Atlantic with me?
Yeah.
Huh? He across the Atlantic with me.
Cheers.
I think it's fruity wine. And the
It's
bubbles are very fine. C'est pas is and for me, I put this wine for the marriage of my daughter, Mary, and this wine have a lot of success. Sorry, because I'm very enthusiastic.
No,
But
you have a reason for that. It's incredible. It's electric.
Very electric. Electric, vif. You have the good acidity, fresh, and also, like a wine, you have a body with a fruit a lot of fruit. I think is 4 years in a 4 years in a cellar. 4 years to turn the bottle like a champagne.
It's an incredible. It really gives you confidence to keep going in this direction. And what I was thinking before is that probably the conditions that make it difficult to bring this to life are exactly what you need to do this.
Exactement. I am completely agree with you. I am completely agree with you. It's a step. C'est une étape. I think the solution is here.
And it keeps evolving. That's incredible.
Voilà, just a great part of my life. I stay very enthusiastic, and now is very important to spend more time to Château Marjosse, more energy for the communication, because now I'm more free for this.
Yes, you need to bring the message, isn't it? To
Yes.
spread it. It's.
But also, I'm very enthusiastic. It's my home, it's my wine. But it's difficult to speak about your wine because your own wine. Normally, when you speak about the Cheval Blanc and Château d'Yquem, I think is more easy vintage. When you speak about your wine, you have a little humility to speak about you. C'est peut-être un petit peu le. But Alex say, Pierre, you have the very great communication around the world. Allez, you speak about your wine because I am very proud by the quality.
No, this is something. And the one thing that I think that is very interesting is that you are bringing a new message.
Yes.
To the old Bordeaux.
Exactly.
I love Bordeaux. I'm the one that tastes the Bordeaux wines and write about it in the magazine. But it's very good to see something new happening.
Yes.
And to tell you the truth, this is incredible sparkling wine. I love the sparkling wine. And
I suppose the sparkling wine have a lot of success. For the moment, you have a few bottles arrive in Brazil, in a Ciro hub. But I suppose, and the sparkling have the big development in Brazil because it's not very, very expensive wine. It's not a very expensive. I don't know a reality of the price actually because it's very new, and the bottle arrived.
Do you think it's already here in Mistral? In order to sell, let me see.
I don't know. I know the price of Mistral when I put the price, but I don't know the retail price. And I produced 9,000 bottles of this wine. Have another vintage.
How many are you bringing to Brazil?
For the moment, I don't bring in the 500 bottles.
500.
But
okay.
I suppose Octavio and very exciting to
bring
more. And when I organize the opening in Rosewood with very nice people, I suppose you have. And also.
When do you think you're going to do that?
But I think perhaps in October.
Okay, we have a trade show here in Brazil in October, which is mine. It's ProWine. São Paulo.
Yes.
It's from 1st to 3rd of October.
Okay.
And then you have a lot
Look,
of
I think
things.
it's interesting to have this information. We have just in the middle of the target when I organize this.
Well, you are going to have people, 12,000 people from all over Brazil
Yes.
coming to the trade show. Maybe it's
I
something.
think it's interesting. Yes.
Yes, you could talk to Otávio to see if he thinks it's interesting as well. But I'm glad for the opportunity to taste this wine firsthand.
Thank you
It's
very
an
much.
incredible wine. For me, it's a surprise because we are in between two very different worlds. Brazil, if Brazil do something that's good, it's sparkling wine. So we have a good, very good sparkling wines in the entrance and medium level. And then you have great champagnes coming to Brazil. And this one, it would be nice to insert it in a blind tasting with great champagne. So I'll try to do that.
It's the idea of Alex. With Alex, you have a lot of provocation. Alex is, I think I love Alex because he gives the truth. Because I invite, this is off the record, and I invite the chef and a chef of the Plaza Athénée, Jean Humbert.
Yeah.
He's a chef, he's a very mediatic chef. I invite in Chateau d'Yquem because Jean is a very good friend, I say. And I invite Alex, and Alex arrived just in front of the chef. He said, Jean, you are great for the Instagram, but you cooked? Oh mon Dieu. Oh mon Dieu. Le chef, il était comme ça. Il dit, it's not easy, your wife.
That's great.
Because Jean Humbert is a very Instagrammer man.
Yeah.
He knows Jay-Z, he knows Beyonce, he knows Rihanna. I organize a big event for Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna. So very complicated for me. It's very complicated.
Well,
My life is, for me, I have the very nice life but my life is a simplicity. I think I don't change me. I have the big responsibilities, a job. But the first contact with Alex is a good example. When I have an appointment in Fasano, Alex, he say, it's not very interesting to have an appointment with the double president of Two First Grow in Bordeaux. I suppose he's a typical French, very snob, etc., etc., etc. And after 15 minutes, Alex say, you are French? She said, why I am French? The French have the bad reputation. Yes, the French have the very bad reputation. You are not snob, you are very decontrite. You have the very open for the people. I think, et je dis aussi, I take 2 showers by day.
that's great.
Voilà, Christian.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure meeting you today.
Me also.
And
Sorry, I am not very serious.
I'm glad for that.
Yeah,
Thank you
me
very
also.
much. I'm happy you're not very good, very French.
No, I am not completely French. In a part of my life is here.
Thank you very much.
I love the Brazil. I love the energy here. I love the Brazil.
I'm glad to hear that. Because this way I know you are coming back and back and back. So,
Yes, exactement.
okay. Thank you very much.
I come back with you?
Yes. Let's go. I'll give you a ride.
Merci beaucoup.
No, my pleasure.
Este programa é um oferecimento Adega Online, o marketplace oficial da revista Adega.